For over the last 2 years, the Baltimore Ravens have been looking for a third option at wide receiver. They've tried OBJ, Nelson Aguilar, recently Deontay Johnson, but they haven't worked out. And we're going into free agency again with the Ravens needing another wide receiver, which is why it makes all the sense in the world to bring back Hollywood Brown. And before you guys start coming at me in the comment section, oh, JT, you tripping. Hollywood Brown was garbage. Y'all Ravens fans forget that y'all drafted Brashard Perryman in the first round. His ass was garbage. Don't be coming at me telling me Marquise Brown was garbage when he was held back by Greg Roman's offense. Greg Roman's offense limited the production of every receiver that he's ever coached. Look what he just did as the OC for the Chargers. You saw how ugly that playoff loss to the Texans was. Greg Roman doing what he always does, cooking up those elementary passing concepts that are so easy to defend, not doing a good job of scheming guys open. It's no surprise the Chargers lost the way they did against the Texans in the wild card round. But with Todd Monken, a.k.a. T-Money, being the offensive coordinator, you've seen the passing attack of the Ravens elevate tremendously. We've seen Lamar Jackson elevate to a level that we didn't even know was possible, because I thought that Lamar Jackson couldn't get any better. Well, the dude just proceeds to throw over 40 touchdowns, only 4 interceptions, and have one of the most efficient quarterback seasons that we've seen since Aaron Rodgers won MVP in 2020. You put Marquise Hollywood Brown and the Todd Monken offense with Zay Flowers and Lamar Jackson, the Ravens pretty much would have assembled the 954 Avengers. What is 954? If you're from the South Florida area, specifically Broward County, you know what the 954 is. These Florida boys are different. And if you reunite Hollywood Brown with Lamar, along with Zay Flowers, the 954 Avengers would be the key to the Ravens finally being able to deliver a Super Bowl for Lamar Jackson. You need one more weapon in that offense that can completely make you unstoppable. Now you'll have Derrick Henry. How are you going to stop him? You're going to have Keaton Mitchell fully healthy coming off that season-ending injury from a year ago. You know, you're going to have a 3-headed trio of Rashad Bateman, who's going to be your big body receiver on the outside. Then you're going to have Zay Flowers. Then you're going to have Marquise Brown, who can play in the slot. Or you can move Marquise Brown outside and force Zay Flowers to play in the slot. Because Zay Flowers is, to me, a better slot receiver than he is as an outside receiver, although he is just as good playing both. But I would rather see Zay Flowers in the slot a little bit more, just because he gets more favorable matchups against these slot corners versus these outside corners that he gets lined up against. And the thing about Hollywood Brown that has been overlooked about his career is that he's never been a good Batman. He's never been a good number one option. But when you are able to pair Hollywood Brown with a true wide receiver one, like a Zay Flowers, and you also get another good wide out to go along with them, like a Rashad Bateman, and you can make Marquise Brown like your second or third option, your offense. He is a really good player. And the Ravens can get him for a really cheap deal. With how much his production has dropped off ever since he got traded away from Baltimore, you could sign him for a 2-year deal worth $7-8 million a year. And then you'll have more money to allocate to other positions versus giving a guy like Cooper Kupp or Devontae Adams a 1-year deal worth like $15-16 million. It just makes so much sense for the Ravens to bring back Hollywood Brown and to reunite Lamar Jackson with his partner in crime. Lamar was not happy when Hollywood got traded. And look, if Lamar wants Hollywood back, all he has to do is make one phone call. We know that Lamar Jackson has a lot of pull in that Ravens organization. And the thing about Marquise Brown wanting to get traded wasn't because, he hated the Ravens. He just hated the system. Greg Roman's gone. Todd Monken's in now. I would love to see Marquise Brown back in Baltimore. We need the 954 Avengers. If Lamar wins a Super Bowl, it ain't going to be right if it ain't without Hollywood Brown. Hollywood Brown and Lamar were like Batman and Robin. They were like Kodak and LeJack Boy, man. I really feel the Ravens getting Marquise Brown would be a sneaky addition that could catapult them to winning the Lombardi Trophy. You don't really have that many more years left of prime Lamar. Why not bring back the guy that he has the best connection with? You put him in an offense that now is more favorable for his skill set. He's going to be able to produce more than what he ever did the last time he was in Baltimore. You know, I don't think that the relationship between Hollywood Brown and the Ravens organization is not fixable. It's not like they left on bad terms. All he wanted was to be in the offense that featured him a little bit more. And now coming back to be more, you know, he's going to have that opportunity. And like I said earlier, he's not garbage. We seem to forget the Ravens wasted a first-round pick on Brashad Perriman. He was trash. You know, I felt like Hollywood Brown was a solid receiver. He was a good number 2. He just wasn't a true number 1, and that's why he somewhat was a disappointment as a first rounder. But he still had a season when he went over 1,000 yards receiving. And who knows how good Hollywood Brown would have been if he just would have waited a little bit longer before he requested a trade. What if Todd Monken would have got hired by the Baltimore Ravens a lot sooner? Maybe Marquise Brown could have went for 1,300 yards. He's always been a really good deep threat. The only issue with him has been his hands, but every receiver has had their fair share of drops. I've seen Rashad Bateman drop passes. Hell, you getting mad at Hollywood Brown saying he's garbage because he always was dropping passes. Mark Andrews dropped one of the biggest passes ever in the history of the Baltimore Ravens franchise. You kidding me? I mean, if we're going to forgive Mark Andrews for dropping the potential maybe game-winning touchdown, you got to get mad at you can't hold that against Marquise Brown either, man. Drops are just a part of the game. The Ravens bringing back Hollywood Brown would make so much sense. We need to see the 954 Avengers in Baltimore, because if this team up happens, if we actually do get the 954 Avengers assembled and be more, the NFL is going to be in a lot of trouble, because now Lamar is finally going to have his army, his squad. He's going to have his team. He's going to have everything necessary to be able to finally get it done. If you get Marquise Brown, he is that one missing piece that can elevate the Ravens to what they've been trying to get these last couple years, and they've been coming up short of doing. Bring Hollywood back to Baltimore. Reunite Lamar Jackson with his partner in crime. Please.